channel. My name is Belle, and this is the Belle Perspective. I want to start off the conversation. Today, we're actually going to be reviewing Ready to Love, Season 6. The Case of the Ex, I think, is the title of the episode. But before we get started, I want to talk about some things that are super important. Everyone has been talking about the war in Ukraine or Putin's war, and how people are being affected. We know that Black people, Africans, particularly, and brown people that live in Ukraine have faced, a number of issues, from racism, being turned away at borders, being put in lines, and having to wait for several hours in order to escape Ukraine as shelling is actually happening. There's a lot of things going on, and myself, I am a person who is very much into social justice, very much into making sure that everyone has an equal playing field. And so I wanted to share some information that I gathered from public broadcasting that I was watching earlier today. So I wanted to share that because of the effects of the war, there's about 8 to 13.1 million people that will go hungry due to the war. I won't name specific countries, but I will talk about the regions that are most affected. North Africa is a region that is affected. Also, the Middle East is also another affected country. Ukraine actually supplies 1/4 of the world's wheat supply. And so because of what's happening right now in Ukraine with Russia's war, Putin's war, these countries in North Africa and the Middle East and several other countries that are affected are facing food scarcity, which could turn into some dangerous and violent scenarios for those folks in that country. You know what happens when there's food scarcity, challenges with eating, etc. So what I want to talk to you about is the World Food Program, and I am linking that website down below. It's called the World Food Program. They are a legitimate organization. I have fact-checked them. I've also, again, they were endorsed by the Public Broadcasting System, PBS, and Howard University. WHUT, I think, is the network. Anyway, the World Food Program, again, I've got their link, should be down on the bottom of the screen. They're currently working right now in 90 countries, and as of 2012 they were able to, and I'm just going to pull up the numbers because I was pretty impressed. Give me 1 second, I'm looking at my phone. As of 2019, prior to the pandemic, the World Food Program assisted 97 million people, the largest number since 2012, in 90 different countries. And so I think that while we are, affected by gas prices and things like that, there are other people in this world that are being affected in much harsher ways. And so I think that it is a way for us to say thank you by paying it forward. So I strongly encourage you to visit the World Food Program. It's WFP.org. Again, it's the World Food Program, WFP.org. There's opportunity to give back, to donate, to partner, to apply for a job if your skill sets match with what WFP is doing or what they need. There's an opportunity for you to get back and fight, in a non-traditional way, right? Or in another way, right? In an alternative way that will be able to support people in North Africa and the Middle East and other surrounding regions that are also being held hostage, or I won't say held hostage, but are also suffering based on the war that is happening and taking place in Ukraine due to Putin's agenda. So again, the website is WFP.org. It's World Food Program. Take a look. Please donate. Please partner. Please apply for a job. Do whatever you can. The best way to be thankful that we're not experiencing that, and not that America is too good to be involved in something like that. Not that America is too good to be subjected to some sort of attack like that. We're not too good for it. But fortunately, we're not in that situation where we're only being hit by the price of gas and, inflation, which was happening prior. But the best way to pay it forward and to be grateful and thankful that we are still able to sleep soundly and we don't have shelling happening outside of our rooms, or people are being killed or separated or held hostage or whatever is happening, all of the things that happen with war, is to pay it forward. WFP.org, World Food Program. Thanks. So I had to give you that PSA, and now we're on to the mess. Okay, so see, you can be social justice, you can be socially sound and messy at the same time. That's the plan, girl. All right, so let's get into it. So, and y'all forgive me, I'm about to get a new laptop. My old laptop broke, and I have just not gone back to try to figure out how to fix it. So I'm just gonna get a new one, which is best for me. I still haven't done that yet, so it's hard for me to edit different things. So like transitions and stuff like that, I would have totally transitioned my PSA over being messy. But again, so bear with me as I am working through some technical things. Okay, so episode starts with Dakia, and I'm looking down because I took some detailed notes today, so you're gonna get a full video. Episode start with Dakia explaining how she doesn't even want to film with Eric. Tommy says he's gonna talk to Eric. Dakia was so not guarded, but Dakia did not give full disclosure. Like, I needed her to talk about it. And so what happened was, from what she says, in both her and Eric's story lines up, they're about to take a picture. He puts his arm around her waist. She is like, what is this, prom pictures? What are we doing, prom? You know, he's like, oh, I can make it more than prom. So then he moves his hands up above her waist. This only other way above the waist is the area up in here, the cleavage, the bosom, the twins, okay, the bosom, if you will. So basically he groped her is what happened, and she told him, don't do that no more. Which I hear some people saying, well, she's been flirting heavily and she's doing all of that. Just because a woman flirts heavily doesn't mean that she wants to be grabbed on. Cause that's the same for a man. Like, I can flirt with you, but that don't mean I want you to grab on me. Like, no. Like, I can flirt, but you still need consent. I heard a YouTube channel say, well, she's always talking sexually with all the different people. Well, here's an example. She's constantly having sexual conversations with Clifton. Clifton never tried to violate her. Because Clifton knows, like, why would I do that? That's not, I know my boundaries. And I think someone would argue and say, well, if Clifton tried to grope her, she'd be okay with that. I don't think so. Because she actually had a stronger connection with Eric than she had with Clifton. So I think, and then someone else said, oh, you think she's mad because Eric has a stronger connection with Carmen. Eric does not have a stronger connection with Carmen. It appeared like he appreciated and liked Dakia more than Carmen. I think Eric is just a creep. He's just a creep, which makes sense as to why him and Carmen are actually friends. They share some of that same creep energy, and y'all know how we feel about Carmen around here. Right. Okay, so this is the episode. The women have the power, and they're introducing their guys, potential guys. And I'm so sick and tired of Ready to Love. They got me. They keep getting me, but I'm not about to get got again. I enjoy this show because it's cool to watch the psychological interactions between the human interaction between men and women, black men and women specifically. But these are all paid actors at this point going forward, and y'all not about to get me again. Anyway, so as I'm approaching this situation, I think I say this almost every other episode because it gets me so upset. I get invested in these relationships, and then I'm like, y'all just pay actors. This is nothing. Anywho, so we first start out with the first date. Joy, Vern, Sean, and Clifton. Sean is Joy's ex. She takes Vern and Clifton out on a date. So Vern wasn't lying when he said that him and Joy actually had a connection. I thought he was just putting things on. I didn't think she really liked him like that. I wondered if Sean still liked Joy because he also looks familiar. He's probably also a paid actor as well. I feel like I saw him on something. I feel like he's a paid actor, and I'm pretty sure I saw him somewhere. I may have saw. I'm sure I've seen him somewhere. He may actually live in the DMV, and I probably saw him out on U Street or something. Anyway, but he looks familiar. So I do wonder if Sean still has feelings for Joy, though. Vern is really insecure, and it shows consistently. He tries to come off as if he's confident, but that confidence is not. There's like a spectrum, and people don't really think about it that way, but it really is a spectrum. It's like people who are super insecure that like or here's the spectrum. It's insecurity is the spectrum. So there's people who are like super like got their body hunched over. They can't look you in the eye. They're nervous about everything. They have poor hygiene, poor clothing choice. They just look like they just been thrown together, right? They have people on that spectrum, and then they have people that are super, my body has to be right, my clothes have to be right, my hair has to be right, everything has to be right to hide the insecurity. So it's either how I really feel about myself is worn outside on this end of the insecurity spectrum, because this is the spectrum of insecurity, or it's the I'm so self-absorbed and I want to cover myself with all of these trinkets and things like bodybuilding, because a lot of bodybuilders are extremely insecure. Bodybuilding, being super smart, being all these different things, so nobody can really see how I'm insecure. That's where that narcissism pool lives. It gets to self-hating, self-loathing to narcissistic. Is all on a it's all on a, and this is what I hypothesize. Is all on an insecurity spectrum. You can be on this end, the narcissistic, or you can be on the self-loathing spectrum. And I think Vern is over here in the narcissistic. I don't think he's a narcissist. I don't know, that word gets thrown around so much now. I'm not gonna label him that, but I do feel like he's over in that spectrum where he feels like he's gotta be perfect and cover up so no one can see the insecurity. But it actually comes out even more because of all the shenanigans. So I understand Clifton. So Clifton was like, I just wanted to come see Joy and have a, private moment with her one-on-one, but, which makes me understand why you don't do that on your own. Y'all don't be going out on your own, but anyway, whatever. I don't know. Again, y'all are paid actors, whatever. Clifton not wanting to meet an ex. I don't understand how Clifton not wanting to meet an ex is being insecure. Like, don't nobody want to meet nobody ex. I don't want to meet someone's ex. I don't want to. Why? For what? Like, y'all are exes. The only reason why I would need to meet an ex is if you guys shared a child. If y'all don't share no children, what the hell? Why do I gotta? Why are you even still? What's going on here? I would need to ask some follow-up questions as well. So when Clifton asked the question, how often you guys talk? What is your relationship like? Sean turns around and says jealousy isn't going to do you well with Joy. And I'm thinking to myself, like, sir, me asking how close are y'all is not jealous. It's I need to know, is there still some feels going on? Which is a real question, because I'm looking at you like there potentially could be some feels going on here. But whatever. I didn't like how Sean called out Clifton. The way he did it was just very, I don't know. I feel like he saw that Clifton is a good match for her. And because he still likes her, he wanted to shoot him down as much as he possibly could. I don't know. I could be reaching here, but I just wasn't feeling the way Sean was handling Clifton. Not that I'm a big advocate for Clifton either, but I understood where Clifton was coming from. By the way, did Clifton have on foundation? Because in his confessionals, he looked like he had like makeup forever on. He had on a powder. He was powdered up, okay? And it, like, the bottom of his face didn't match his forehead. I'm like, somebody either one didn't blend it all the way, or number two, they mismatched his shade. Because I know he had makeup on. Y'all couldn't tell me that wasn't makeup forever. yeah, what I was saying, yeah, him asking about how often they talk, that wasn't a sign of insecurity. He just needed to see what the hell was going on. Um, yeah, and again, in my opinion, most people, once they broken up, y'all may still be cool. Like, hey, how you doing? If I see you in the street, what's up? But I'm not going to be calling you on the phone. Like, how are you even able to make other connections with other new relationships with new people if you're still trying to be friends with your ex? Again, the only circumstance I could understand as to why you would need to feel like y'all need to still be friends is if y'all co-parenting, y'all have kids together. The outside of that, I'm not understanding the reason why you would still need to be buddy with an ex. I don't understand it. There's no way. You got to clean your house in order to invite new stuff in. Because that ex is still lingering around, especially if you broke up with them. They're gonna want to still. They are gonna want to still. Or if they break up with you, they just want to still see if they got you. There's a lot of it's a clean break. You need to have a clean break. And in real world, real life, not ready to love life, that's that on that. In the end, the case Sean read was, or I'm trying to say, what am I trying to say? In the end, Sean voted for Clifton. He thought Vern was superficial, which he totally showed his ass. Clifton is a better choice, but he's gonna have baggage, and I'm like, who doesn't have baggage? Sean, you still like Joy. You got some feelings there. Okay, so then they show Eric and Tommy. These are paid actors. They're paid actors. I had to keep reminding myself. I'm so disappointed with Ready to Love. They got me again, and I said this before. Because I was really excited about Eric and Dakia, but paid actors. So, he said that he feels sorry because he realized that he hurt Dakia's feelings. Assaulting her and hurting her feelings are two different things, sir. Two different things. I think he took the easy way out by not necessarily admitting anything. Actually, speaking around the issue, he spoke around it. He did not really truly address the actual issue. Yeah, he had to go. And honestly, I don't think that he was the one that said, I'm not ready to love. I feel like production was like, no, sir, we don't accept that kind of thing. And to prevent us from being sued, you gotta go. I feel like production told him he had to go. I don't feel like he left on his own. Talking about he not ready. He realized he not ready to love. No, sir. They told you had to go. Carmen and Marcus. Carmen. Moving on. Okay, so y'all not gonna tell me that Carmen didn't hire that man. Y'all not gonna tell me that. First of all, she walks in all out. She shouldn't even wear a shirt. She should just let them just hang out and do what they wanted to do, because that's what she was doing. She walks in holding her hand with this guy. I'm gonna call him Salt and Pepper Marcus. Hired dude. That's what I'm gonna call him. He's been hired. The hired man. Hired man to come in holding hands. Ugh, she's just so. She had bronzer on, and this bronzer looked like a Mardi Gras mask. Like she took all the bronzer and just wiped it on her face. All the bronzer. It looked like a Mardi Gras mask, and then she put the blue eyes in again. So it's like this reflected metallic on her face with blue eyes. It was like, girl, you look like a Mardi Gras mask. Like, girl, go sit down. If she really was interested in any of these guys, the way she was handling Marcus, she was rubbing on her cleavage in front of him and was like, how do you like them? I'm like, girl, what? Donovan and Paul were the guys. I'm like, where did Donovan come from? I thought you liked Clifton. What happened was, I think that she knew she couldn't stand up against Joy, and so she decided she was gonna, who's the next guy that everyone else thinks is attractive? Donovan. Anyway, yeah, Carmen likes the guys that other girls like, because anyway, yeah, that's so annoying. At the end of the day, her hired man chose Donovan. whatever, hired ex, the guy she hired or whatever, Ace, she was her young love. So first of all, this is not even any recent adult love. This is some dude from back in the day. Okay, he actually matched the guy that I would think she would date. And I feel like because of that, her and Tori would be more of a match. But Vern, so it was Tori and Vern are the two guys that she went on a date with or introduced her ex to. And I keep saying ex, but she said young love. That means y'all not young. How young is it? Middle school? What is this? High school? None of that shit counts. But whatever. Vern said something about we gonna get naked. I was like, what? Throw him away. What? I was like, Vern, go sit down. Like anyway, the ex, I don't remember what his name was, said that Ace was the alpha. I'm surprised because I don't feel like Ace is being herself. There's something disingenuous about her. I can't put my finger on it, but she not being real. She not showing us her real self. I liked Tori's answer because the ex was like, or the ex-boyfriend, whoever he was, to Ace. I like Tori's answer about, he's like, it's not about being an alpha. My job is not to dominate my woman. It's to be there to compliment her, to, lift her up, all of the things, right? I was like, that's a good answer. I'm sick and tired of this alpha bait, all this foolishness. If a real person who actually takes control and is dominant and handles their business and is a leader, because that's what you're really trying to say. Leading is about servitude, and that's what people don't understand. When you're a leader, you're serving others. It's not you telling people what to do. Y'all not understanding that. And so that's how I know that y'all don't need to be talking about it. Moving on. So, the X survey says, if you want a man that's going to lead, you need to go to Vern. If you want to lead, go to Tori. I was looking at him like he sounds immature for that answer because what the hell? Vern is not about to lead you nowhere. He just sounds uber confident, and he's not. And if you were a real man, you would have detected that a long time ago. You would have detected that. Tori was a much better fit. So, I don't understand how meeting my ex is really going to be helpful. I don't know. Anyway, Sabrina. So I learned that Sabrina is a social justice warrior. Hey girl, hey. I can very much so appreciate that about her. And I think that's why now I realize when she said in her interview, she was like, or in her casting special, she was like, I love black people who like black people. And I'm like, yeah, I know that's right. And now it makes more sense. So I have a little bit more respect for her than I did before. Demetrius, she introduced her ex, Milton to Demetrius, Donovan, and Tori. And so she put Demetrius separately, which I don't understand why. And Milton actually looks exactly like Demetrius. I don't understand what Demetrius is giving. He doesn't like her. He doesn't like anybody on this show, but he just wants to be paid because he's a paid actor. All right, so Tori gave I don't give a, but was completely giving it because you can tell, right? Poor guy, his poor little heart has been turned off since he met her, or since he saw that Sabrina nibbled on Demetrius's arm. He been turned off since then. I feel like Tori, this is my personal opinion, I feel like Tori is looking at Sabrina like the girl he's always wanted. And Sabrina's been one of the girls that all the guys like. She's the girl next door. She dresses well. She's not too sexy, but she's pretty, smart, all of the things, right? I feel like Sabrina is the girl that he has always wanted to be with, but never really got a chance to because of whatever. He always ended up dating a girl like Ace. Nothing wrong with Ace, but they're two different categories. And I feel like he's a little bit bitter. I feel like he originally thought, yes, I finally is my chance. But when it didn't pan out the way that he wanted it to, he's upset and he's butthurt. Because I'm not understanding. He can totally connect with so many other people. But Sabrina was the girl that he really wanted to be with. Because I think that Sabrina's the girl that he's always wanted. That kind of girl that he's always wanted. Donovan was super cool. Donovan was pretty much cool in all of his dates or whatever. I think Donovan is a paid actor. He just like, here, I'm here to, get a check, whatever. The ex Melvin says that Donovan is the guy that he picks, and it's pretty much a blowout, which I agree. Is Demetrius interested in anybody? Please drop down in the comments and tell me, because I don't see him liking not a dang body. Okay, not a soul. I'm laughing at Tori talking about how he hides his emotions, and he'll hide it with a smile. Liar! You won't. You didn't. Okay, we saw it was written all over your face, boo. Liar. Yeah, I feel like Sabrina and Donovan are a much better fit. But again, these are paid actors, and I'm not invested in their outcome. The exes survey says Donovan. I think I said that already, but whatever. Last thing, Tina, Paul, Demetrius. So funny. Paul is just happy to be here. Okay, we just gonna point that out. Paul is just happy he's still on the show, right? Ex-boyfriend aired her completely out. It was, did I say Tina, Paul, and Demetrius? Ex-boyfriend BJ put all her business out. But what they didn't really say is that this was when Tina was in high school. So I'm like, of course she acted that way. So BJ talked about her throwing phones and punching holes in the wall. Apparently, BJ had cheated on her. I'm like, damn, he was cheating on you in high school, girl? What? And she was fighting him in high school or throwing stuff. Now, here's the thing. That's that young gal shit. It really is. I can say that I've never, bust the window out of anybody's car. I thought about that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have tried to, I have gotten into fights. Not my proudest moments. I will tell you that right now. If you fighting, just wrap it up. Hang it up. If you throwing phones, doing all this to get back at him at doing something that is equally egregious, cheating, whatever, hang it up. That's such immature behavior. And I didn't see her say that she was wrong. I didn't see her say that was in her past. She didn't speak up for herself at all. And maybe it was editing, but it was bad. I was like, girl, please speak up for yourself, because he got you looking crazy. And he's not going to give the full story, but you're also not helping this scenario right now by just letting him talk it out or talk about it. I'd like to point out that Paul mentions, oh, her ex-boyfriend looks so young. Paul, no. He does not look young. He is not that young. He is her age. That is what it is. And I know you're confused as to why these two young people would want to be together. But yes, people actually date their own age. She typically dates her own age. So yes, he may look young. It's because she's young. And they're the same age. They're able to play in the sandbox. Not you, because you're a grown-ass man. You're an uncle now. Okay? Uncle Paul. Nasty. Him and Carmen deserve each other. They have the same energy. It's gross. Moving on. Dakia and Clifton was being insecure at this point. He was being rude to the man, didn't want to shake his hand. He was trying to feel all up on Dakia to make the man feel uncomfortable. I thought that was dumb. Like, okay, now relax now, Clifton. That's just too much. Actually going back to Tina, and because I didn't give the survey of what the ex said, survey says, drum roll please. He recommended Paul. Quiet as a skept, you need to get you a new friend, because he wasn't no good neither. BJ ain't no good. He ain't gonna help you. Paul wasn't gonna help you, and Demetrius wasn't gonna help you neither. Because girl, quiet as a skept, if you had a real friend, they would have told you, You don't want neither one. Demetrius ain't what you want, and Paul ain't what you want neither. So he recommended Paul, but whatever. Tina says that she feels red flags from Demetrius. I'm like, what? Why are we even still having this conversation? I am not understanding. And then she was like, he's super conservative and he's still working on himself. And she's like, should I trust my gut or should I? What? Girl, at this big age? No, ma'am. Trust your gut. We don't have time. We don't have time to not be trusting our gut. That's what our gut is here for. Okay, so anyway, wrapping it all the way up. 2 guys have to go home. Laverne and Tori are on the chopping block. Tori ends up being spared. He's staying. I don't know why. He should vote himself off as well, because he don't like nobody else. Well, maybe him and Ace can just try to like hang on in order to still get paid, because they're what? Paid actors. I have to keep reminding myself of this. Because I love Black Love, but I know y'all paid actors. Laverne shows his butt, but like Laverne always showing his butt. He like people to like touch his butt, grab his butt, he like to be a butt, right? That's him. That's his thing. Anyway, he does say that Precious is the one that he basically accused Sabrina of plotting with Joy, Sabrina, and one other person. Oh, Tina, to vote him off, which makes, I was like, Ace is so messy. That is some messy mess. She went back and told him that these women were trying to plot to break their relationship up. I knew I didn't trust Ace. I knew something wasn't right about her. I still don't feel like something is right about her. I feel like she took that back and used it as fuel to fire up Laverne, and he already is a few screws loose anyway. That just showed me how Ace is really not. Anywho, that is the end of this episode, or I'm sorry, end of my review. My name is Belle. Thank you for watching. This is the Belle Perspective. If you want to be a part of the growing channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Talk to me down below as to what you thought. What do you think about exes? Do you still hang out with your ex? Because if you do, we need to talk about that down below, girl. Please explain to me why you still got him lingering around, him or her, whoever, whatever it is you got. Please talk to me about that, because I need some guidance. Exes be exes. I be deucing you. I may see you in the Walmart parking lot and say, hey, how you doing? Because I'm not rude. But I'm finna go, right? There's nothing else I need to talk to you about. So please explain that to me down in the comments. Did y'all think Laverne needed to go home? I personally felt he needed to go home. He was just a headache and a half. What do y'all think about Ace? Do y'all feel like she being real? I feel like she fake as hell. But y'all know what? Talk about it down below, and I will circle back around. Let me tell you how OWN is coming with the mess. Love and Marriage Huntsville, which I have to watch and I'm going to review. There's a new show called Marry Me. Oh my God, Black women embarrassing themselves out in the open. Further, because there's plenty of episodes, plenty of shows where Black women are embarrassing themselves. I'm gonna review that. What else am I going to review? Put a Ring on It. I don't really care about that show. I may or may not review it. I'll try to watch the first episode. If I don't like it, I'm not going to review it. What else? There's a couple things that I've been working on, and I want to bring it to YouTube. So we'll see. I've got to sit down and finally write it out. But hopefully I can finally get an opportunity to do that in the next couple days. But anyway, thank you for sticking around. My name is Belle. This is the Belle Perspective. Bye.